Well, good afternoon, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Wanted to get on and tell everybody thanks for all the support. It's been a long, hard travel for myself here. For those that are familiar with me and what's been going on in my life in the last 5 years, I've been sinking my head into all the paperwork and all the words and causes and trying to get this figured out, not only for myself but for everybody else. And I've done a lot of the work myself in regards to the research and knowledge and comprehension, and I put everything back out there in my own comprehension the best I can. And throughout this whole thing, again, if you're familiar with my path here the last 5 years, I didn't, even before this happened, I didn't live like a lot of people. When I was in my younger days, I started up my own business after I got myself in trouble. Ended up in prison for a few years, got out, and I had determined that before I went to prison that I didn't want to work for somebody else. I wanted to do my own thing. And despite the issues with a lot of people saying that you can't get a job when you come out of prison, that is definitely, it may be hard to get a job with somebody else, but it is definitely not a true and proper statement, because you don't in fact need a job. You can do your own good works. You don't need to work for someone else. And so when I got out of prison, I did in fact work for somebody else in order to save up the money to get started myself. And so when I got out, I started working at a packing plant. And I only worked there for about 7 or 8 months. And in that time, I had saved up enough money to start doing my own thing. This was along with being in the release center, or halfway house as they call it, when you're first released from prison. I went through there, no issues, was out in 3 months. So I spent the next 5 months. During that first 3 months, I had to save up money to get my own place and everything. I got my own place, and for the next 5 months I continued saving up still so I could do my own thing. And then I did my own thing. I started my own sales and marketing, and I had all the equipment. I had all the stuff I needed as far as office supplies, computer, printer, all that. And when I quit that 10 years later, I quit it. I put it all down. And I never got a computer after that. That was back shortly after the first cell phones actually came out. The first one, they called it the brick. If anybody remembers the brick, it was one that you could take out in your car and hook up into your lighter and travel around with a cell phone that way. But that, by the time I got out, that was about 10 years old. And so they'd come out with the new, smaller flip phone type cell phones. I didn't even get one of those. And so when I got into this 5 years ago, I had recently gotten a cell phone. I had one for a number of years. I'm going to say about 8 years before this happened. And that's all I had to work with. So I had to upgrade a phone so I could actually get a good enough service on a cell phone so I could start doing my own research. I ended up getting a laptop that was donated free. I had to get it all cleaned up and wiped and reformatted so I could use it, and that's what I started with. And then, of course, it was an old computer, so it went out and I was back to my phone. I'd been working on my phone until last year, and I finally was able to get a laptop. And then a year later, I'm finally able to get a printer. And I thank you all for that, helping me support help and support me in that, as well as the support and sharing all the information and coming back and asking for questions, or asking questions for information in your own time, and sitting back and listening to me. I know I've been told many times that I talk over people's heads. I apologize. I don't mean to do that. For myself, a lot of this stuff, it just comes. I don't, there's a lot of things I see in life that evidently other people don't. And I apologize for that. I'm truly trying to make sure that people can comprehend what I say, in trying to correlate all these different laws and everything and how to use them. Because that's all they are, is for use. They're not, everything, we all know that everything is supposed to be contract law. And if you realize what contracts are and the way it operates today, every contract is actually being operated in a trust form. And knowing that, if you know the basic simple things about a contract, and that is, he who creates controls. He who didn't create cannot control it. That's the equal consideration, equal benefit. And if there's any detriment, then all parties are supposed to share in the detriment. So if you find something in your life that's being detrimental to you, you need to find the right person to speak up, and you need to be able to speak up in the right way. You need to be able to be comprehensible in explaining what the detriment is, why it is voidable, and go back and renegotiate. And if it can't be renegotiated, point out the point that makes it void, and show them that it is void in fact then. Because if it doesn't give equal consideration and equal benefit, it is void. Period. If there aren't any wet ink signatures, if there aren't 2 wet ink signatures, it's void. These are all voidable things that you can pay attention to. And when you find them, let them know it's voidable for this. This is what's causing me detriment. And if we can't fix it, then it is void. Until then, it's voidable. So let's talk about this and see if we can't find a way to negotiate and fix this, so everybody's being benefit. This is the problem with going to courts and trying to sue people and going after money. That's not the purpose. That's what they'd like you to believe, and that's what the cognitive dissonance has y'all caught up into, is the monetary thing. For the love of money is the root of all evil. If you get away from that, quit concerning yourself with that, and just forgive and forget. I ask forgiveness as I give forgiveness, and that's what it's all about. It's zeroing the balance, settling the account. It's not settling the account and now you owe me. It's settling the accounts. From here on forward, we walk in equity, all parties, and that's what I stand on. That's I have a lot of people that I deal with here on Facebook that want to come to me and ask me questions, and depending on how they ask the question, I can get a good sense of what their intent is, generally. And if I don't feel that there's equity coming from you, I'm going to question it. And that's why I say I don't ever take anything from this society for granted anymore. I'm going to question it all, because there's already a grant. I've already been granted the providence of grace. Providence being the interception of a greater power, and the grace being the favor of that power. This is what we talk about when we talk about sovereignty. That is the sovereign. I am not a sovereign. I have sovereign powers that are granted through dominion that I get to use. Same with their laws. Those only have certain powers, and you can use them if you know how to use them. And that's what they're playing on, is that you don't know how to use them. So again, if you don't know the simplicities of a simple contract, and you're going around doing things and signing documents, you better quit. That's what's getting you in trouble. Now I'm going to switch around. Like I said, I appreciate all the support everybody's given me. I just recently got a printer, like I said. This is one of those things that's going to help me advance in my own efforts, so it can help advance your knowledge and your efforts as well. When I got the printer, It's an excellent little printer. I think from my own experience, like I said, the last time I had a printer was way back when I did my own office. So I got a cheap little job. It's a HP, does a good job. I will likely switch to a different kind of printer here in the future. I'm already realizing that the inkjet printer is going to cost a lot in ink. Like I said, I just got it Wednesday. I spent a day trying to get it figured out. I'm not technologically savvy at setting these things up, so I had to go through some things, but I got it figured out. And let me tell you what, folks, I've been printing. So first thing I want to show you, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it on my page yet, but I've already got my first edition of my PMA made up. I'm going to see if I can set this off. This is the first page, and this is in book form. Notice that binding. It's in book form. It's 29 pages. I'm not quite done yet. I'm still constructing it. The first page, you got the cover. You open it up, and it says, "Though the power may go out, his light shall shine forevermore." Now, we all know who we're talking about there. And like I said, it's still in construction, so this isn't attached yet. But then we go over here, and the first inside is the full armor of God. It's got the Lord's Prayer, and then absolute. That is in purple ink, that is in black ink, and that is in blue ink. Then we open it up to the next page, and we see that. What is that, folks? What the hell is that? Can you read that? Likely not. Just like the Cherokee and the Chippewa and all the native tribes, other foreign countries, I made my own foreign language. Just like they use a code. They are welcome to use my code. That right there is then translated on the second page. And though it doesn't say patent, this is a patent. A patent. This is letting them know that I have an overlying, a superior standing in publishing any material. This is the notice. Notice it says at the top, absolutely now time security note. And then it has a code. That is my own note for my own security purposes. It is not financial. And then it says the Keith Orland Little FBU, a private member association, an expression of the living will. Public notice, be it known evermore to all people and peoples that Keith Orland Conrady Little has founded a faith-based union. First, let's talk about Keith-Orland, stop, Conrady-Little, stop. You will not see that Conrady on any documentation in public in regards to Keith Orland, because I was adopted. This is the one patent fact that they are trying to cover up in all instances where I sign any documents. This is the same thing they are doing to you in regards to your full armor of His absolute providence and grace. Now let's talk about the faith-based union. It is a faith. Based is a foundation. Union is a labor force. A faith-based union. A spiritual foundation of good works. Like wording, a spiritual foundation of good works. Of a people of the like kind, to be known as Keith Orland Little FBU, a private member association, for the purpose of, that says, oops, try this again. That says be having, not behaving. For the purpose of be having what is prosperous and abundant, with pure equity in nature, with absolute right of use, by, through, and for Keith Orland Conrady Little, of any and all real or personal effects. In all events of matters of this union, remain as such without dissemination. Private is private. This is a privacy notice. This is a non-disclosure agreement. Any who wish to be of this natural union will be under the full armor of protection from dissemination of any details of this union by the whole union as one. And then it goes on and is constructed. It's got the membership agreement. It's got the signature page for yourself as an abundant member with first-hand witnesses. Their profession is not going to be a commercial profession. Their profession will be truth. Each one of your witnesses puts down truth, truth, truth. That is your true profession when you operate in equity. And then it goes on, and there's multiple pages of the Articles of Confederation, which explain the laws and everything that we work under, or correlate with in regards to their codes and how they acknowledge the greater presence. They construct their codes off of the Bible and the Holy Scriptures. So when we use those codes, we use them in uniformity. Okay? So anyway, let's look at the back. We go to the back, and of course, after the Articles of Confederation, there's a notice. All public officials, servants, or public servants, that each and every trespass against I, Keith, will activate my fee schedule attached. Comprehend. When you join the PMA and they trespass you, they trespass me. If they trespass me, my fee schedule is active for counsel. Responsive communications, review and research for responsive communications, depositions, interrogations, unsolicited. And then it goes on, and it's just a regular fee schedule. This is all information I have on my page. You're all welcome to it. The one copy I just showed you, that's my copy. Like I said, I've been doing some printing. I've currently got 4 copies up and ready. The front page will not be the same. I will send you generic forms. I've got 4 copies. Hey Steve, buddy, you've got the draft. It's already mailed. And along with that, I've got 4 copies ready to go out. I figure $100 is a fair price. It is not standard. It is not set. We can negotiate. I'm just asking for something in return. Like I said, the ink's not cheap. My time is all been free so far. I do everything regardless. But in regards to receiving a PMA and becoming a part of my PMA, again, the PMA itself is not a cost. All the information is public domain information. It is not a cost. I only wished for equal consideration, equal benefit in exchange. And so again, like I said, I think $100 is a fair price. And that is not just for the material. If you have questions about the material, I realize I want to explain something to you people that are trying to do this. The reality of the situation is that everybody's been trained to be a benefit all of their life, to be a beneficiary, to be accepting of gifts and offerings. But these gifts and offerings have been coming from a society of a commercial system, and it's been blocking the actual offering we have from Him through Mother Earth. And when we benefit from Mother Earth, we're supposed to observe from our benefit and learn so that we can repeat that. So that when we get into a position where we can produce that for our own beneficiaries, we've now stepped up into a trustee position. And then when we learn how to do that for our own, and we can then expand and be a trustee for other people, or provide that knowledge and information and help for other people, as I'm trying to do, we become grantees. And now we become educators to show others how to move out of that beneficiary step into a trustee position. And that's what I'd like to do with this PMA. I don't have the trust set up. You don't have to have a commercial trust set up. If you do it right in the PMA, it will explain the trust that you're already operating under, the grants that you already have, the rights and freedoms that you already associate with. And that's the prosperity and abundance that's already provided. Anything else is a detriment. So when we start issuing those negotiable instruments known as trusts for public use, we have to construct them very succinctly and very finitely. We have to be very definitive, and that can cause for a lot of problems. So in the meantime, though we don't have that set up, we can operate through the PMA. We can operate through the PMA. But this is not something you want to operate in as a beneficiary. This is only something to use as a step in your own research and knowledge through experience to be able to step up into the trustee position, so then you can make your own PMA. You're not going to be a benefit of my PMA forever. This is a temporary beneficial position to help you step up into a higher capacity of knowledge and education so you can then assert your own. And as we're doing that together is when I'll be stepping up and setting up my own trust and estate documents. So as I teach you this and I'm learning that end of things on a greater scale and putting that together, you'll also be able to learn that as well. Like I said, I've been doing this out in the open for 5 years, and I'm still going to keep doing that. But when it comes to the PMA, and I'll show you the difference. Like I said, I've been doing some printing. There's 4 PMAs here, plus I have a stack of test covers. Steve, this is the one you're getting. This is the one, it's just a, like I said, these PMAs will be generic, and this is the cover that will be on your PMAs when I send them. Steve, this is the one you received. And then that cover will also be used in shrunk down form to be used as a stamp, and these are just draft forms to show how we use a homemade stamp. We can put our security number up there, we can put our whole unit figure here, and then down here we put our number and our prepaid, just like you saw with the other homemade stamps that we circulate. So anyway, that's basically what you're going to get there in regards to your PMA. but it's going to have the generic cover. In the meantime, I do have, like I said, the colored cover that I'm working on in a little different form. If you read the post below this video, it's going to show you how this isn't completely constructed. You'll notice there's 4 tiers at the top. Before I show you those PMAs, I'll show you this. There's 4 tiers at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be earth, wind, water, and fire. It's got 2 pillars, just like Solomon's temple, representing the pillars of heaven. It's going to have a black and white symbol here for the sun. It's going to have a black and white symbol here for the moon, day and night. He gives us both light and darkness. This will be in purple ink. These 2 symbols will be in black. This here in blue ink will be my name, as you saw on the PMA. Keith hyphen, full colon stop, Orland, Conrady hyphen little, full colon stop. And then down here you have the foundation, the faith, based, union. And here in red ink will be the word providence. Here in red ink will be the word grace. Providence standing for his interception, his divine interception. Grace standing for his favor. My faith-based union is based on the providence of his grace. It is for his interception that I am in his favor, because I've accepted his oath to operate my own life as Christ in Eucharist. I'm not supposed to use that name. I'm supposed to use his name. So, that's the basics of it. And like I said, I've got 4 of these PMAs set up. And just like the front cover, after you see my fee schedule, you'll see the back page says the same thing as the very front inside cover. So the last the last page before you close it all up says same thing. Though the power may go out, his light shall shine forevermore. This is affirmation that you believe in his light from start to finish. And again, when I get done, I'll post my links and everything to all the different forums. There's one PMA, and I will, this is still in loose leaf, these are still in loose leaf. And when I send them, I will bind them, just like I bound mine. It will be bound in blue. There's one. There's 2. Well, I guess I've only got 3. I've got 3. I'll have to print up another one. I thought I printed 4. I guess I used the one for my own. Like I said, it's been a long 4 days. Been doing a lot of printing. Anyway. Make sure that's just one. Yeah. So anyway, I got 3 copies. I'll print up another one, so I'll have 4 copies. And like I said, if I have more than that, I can print up more. But again, like I said, I think $100 is reasonable. Again, it also gives you, I'll open up Zoom meetings and do private Zooms with you to help explain anything that you don't comprehend. So that's my consideration, my time and effort above and beyond what I've already done over the last 4 and 5 years just to put this together. So think about that. Hopefully you guys will help me help you. So like I said, I will be putting my other forum links on here along with my PayPal link. Get with me in private messenger if you're interested. If not, I still ask that you at least hit that PayPal button and help, share some love with me, or hit those other links. Get that information out there. Share all the information. Like I said, it's all public domain. If anybody has any questions, send them to me. I can do my best to help answer any questions they have. I will do my diligence in finding the truth, not just an answer. I'm not just going to give you an answer I think. I'm going to do my due diligence to find the truth for your situation. Like I said, my truth is not your truth. We all live differently. Your truth is not my truth. So again, please hit those buttons. Share, share, share. And if you're interested with the PMA, get with me in private. We'll set something up. And again, please hit that PayPal button and send me some love despite. Even if you've already got your own PMA set up and you think I'm doing a good job and it's worth it, send me some love. I really appreciate it. So in the meantime, I want to put that out. Let everybody know I really appreciate all your help as well. It's helped me move up a step further towards my own goal. I always tell everybody that at the end of the videos that if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. But because you guys help me out, my own pace is able to pick up a little bit more the more you help me out. So please remember that. It all works both ways. The more you help me, the more I can help you. So in the meantime, again, remember, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. God bless you. I love you all. And Chris, I concur as well. You guys have a good day.